Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the First Chapter with myself, Jolanda Lamont, and my two besties, Carmen Johnson Bell and Olivia Brothers. And by the by, Carmen, your name says Canaan, just so that you know. Might want to change that. So today's topic is really interesting to us, especially since we are all ladies of a certain age. I really don't care for that phrase, but it's common. So today we're going to talk about prioritizing physical and mental well-being. So I'm looking forward to this because all three of us are going through our own journeys. Yeah, going through our own journeys and figuring out ways to keep ourselves vital, and keep everything lubricated and working well. So we'll start with, oh, there we go. We'll start with Miss Carmen, since she is
I'm
Carmen again.
Carmen now. Sorry.
Yes. So Carmen is because in our last episode, Carmen made mention of the fact that she had some health issues um, that were caused because she did not set her boundaries up in her life. So I actually thought that was a good way to segue into this conversation. You don't have to give a full background and share too much, but just an overview of kind of what happened, and then we'll move on from there. You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Jolanda. Um, well, I kind of do have to give you just a little bit of background on uh, what the health issue that I had, how it kind of built up, and you could use me as a cautionary tale of too little, too late. Um, I knew beforehand that I needed to make some changes, and I was making the effort to make those changes, but as you see, it was too little, too late. I am well, it was a couple of years ago, so I was not 50 then, but yeah, I'm headed toward 50 then. And my life was very stressful. I was taking on the responsibility of grown people, and then having another person put their children on me. Um, not to the point of not to the detriment of the children. It's not their fault. But they needed me. Um, and then I had the stress of work. I knew that work was the number one thing that was just too stressful for me. So I was making a change there. I was going to a lower position so that I would not have as much responsibility as I was before. So
You keep going. You keep going.
yeah. So I ended up um taking a different position and taking on those children, and then realizing that they had so much. I still have my own children to take care of. I still have my own marriage to take care of. That one day at work I began to cough really badly, and I couldn't stop the cough. I'm coming from a job site with my students, and I couldn't stop coughing no matter what I tried. I ended up having to pull over so I can get out and stand up, and I could not stop. And long story short, I'm on the way to the hospital in the ambulance because I have had a mild heart attack. I didn't know that it was unbelievable that you know what I mean, I'm 40 something, what, 47, 46, 47, and I'm having a heart attack. But it was a heart attack that was brought on with I had other underlying conditions that, I kind of ignored. I um I am a diabetic. I also suffer uh from headaches from migraines. And I really didn't take care of that. I let it go. I had a working headache, and I was like, that's how it is. That's how I am. I just accepted some of the physical ailments that I have as, oh well, that's it. Let's keep it pushing. I still got to go to work. I still got to take care of these kids. I still got to take care of my family. I still got to take care of my household. I still got things to go on. So I pushed and pushed and pushed until my body decided that was enough. If you won't stop you, I will stop you. And it did. So I landed in the hospital for about a week, maybe a week or so. And it left me as weak as a baby. I mean, it was hard for me to pick a spoon up to my mouth that I had no strength. So it forced me into having people they had to do it. Everybody else had to find a way to do it. So moral lesson, and I'm the bottom line girl. I'm the bottom line person. Bottom line is that I should have listened a long time ago when I told when my I was telling myself this is too much. I told myself it was too much, but and I should have done something then, but I didn't, and it was too little, too late. By the time I was changing things, the big whammo was coming. It was already set to come. So I urge anybody to, listen to yourself.
Okay. Olivia, would you like to say something?
I I was just gonna ask her a follow-up question. So, um, with the health crisis that you ended up having, and you said the moral of the story is to listen to yourself, what are some of the things that you had to change to get you to where you are now?
The biggest change that I had to make, I believe, was mental because I always thought I had to do it. I
Mm,
had to do it. Nobody else can do it but me. It's not going to get done unless I do it. So I cared about every little thing. Then I realized it's not your job. It's not you. You can't. You can't fix everything. You're not going to get to everything. And if I care about it more than the other person I'm trying to help cares about it, it is not worth it. So those are the biggest things that I had to change. Then I needed to change my own eating habits. Um, I needed to eat, and when I did eat, I needed to eat something that wasn't fast food or I mean, just totally unhealthy or I would wait hours to hours to eat, or maybe I didn't eat that day because I was so busy doing so many other things that I may have had maybe a couple of cookies in a bottle of water. It still wasn't right. So yeah, eating habits and then uh reducing the stress level. I had to change my mentality a lot. It really does. You need to change. It really boils down to how you accept things. Now I'm like I don't press about things. If it gets done, it gets done. Even though, you know, me being a Virgo, I'm a perfectionist. I needed to let that go and just I don't let a lot of things affect me like I used to. Kind of, having a myocardial infarction, the medical term, has, made me just relax more.
mm,
Yeah, that'll do it for sure.
yeah.
For sure. Um, Jolanda, have there been anything in your life that made you like say, I need to change for my physical health? Maybe not as severe as Carmen's, but just
I don't
something
think
that
anybody has a
snack.
severe thing.
Um, uh, no, I've not had a major incident. Um, I just knew I was getting older chronologically, and I did not want to feel that way. So you just start making changes because things hurt that didn't hurt anymore, used to hurt, excuse me. Well, you know what? I'll backtrack. It wasn't a major thing. So what? When was uh COVID? That was 5 years ago. 20, it was 2020, right?
2020.
So right at that time, I fell in the shower and tore my ACL. So uh, for me, I didn't want to have surgery. So I had to figure out a way to keep active and heal myself without being cut open. So that kind of shifted how I did things. In the past, I would focus more on physical activity and exercise, and I couldn't do that for a while. Like most of the exercises that I was doing up until then, I couldn't do because I didn't have the leg strength to do them. So I had to change eating habits and uh, take on new supplements and figure out another way to keep myself in better shape, in better health, other than the physical activity until the knee healed well enough that I could resume the physical activity. So, no, nothing major, life threatening like Carmen, but that did awaken me to, oh, girl, you need to start taking this stuff a little bit more seriously because I like wearing heels and I wanted to wear heels again. So, I mean, that's a little vain, but it's the truth.
Don't give up my heels either, girl. I understand.
Like I like to wear heels and I want to run. I couldn't run, which bothered me for over a year. I literally could not run. So, that bothered me. What about you?
It's always so funny. Oh, that is Rachel. No, I didn't. Um, for me, what gave me the kick in the pants, was the fact in 2018 when I started taking care of my grandmother. She had Alzheimer's and dementia. And to see a woman who's always been active, she's always had her own place, drove, cooked, took classes at the local college, like all of these things, now be dependent, ended up, having to have a wheelchair, um, walker, like all of those things. It like, it really shook me because I was like, first of all, mentally, like that's genetic. So like and also food wise and things like that change your brain chemistry. So that made me change the way I truly ate because I was like, yeah, I'm not eating meat, but was still eating cheese or I was doing whatever. We'll talk about our diets later, but like I knew that I needed to change some other things. And then physically I needed to get fit. At that time, I was close to like I was at 230 at that time. So like knowing that I was that big and I was like, wow, I need to lose this weight because I can't because I still have to pick her up, do different things like that. And I was like, I can't have this. And I can't be that kind of role model at for my own family. Like I couldn't have my children see me like just completely breaking down because seeing their great grandma break down, it was already devastating as it was. So, and then just learning the other health uh, challenges that are in my bloodline, like diabetes, now with the Alzheimer's and dementia, uh, high blood pressure, cataracts, like all of these things. I was like, I can't have all of these issues that seem to be falling, especially on the women. I was like, yeah. So that was what it was.
Oh, well, you brought up we'll discuss diets later, so it's later. So, how did you change your diet? We'll do round robin again and start back with Carmen. How did you change your diet so that you could live a more healthy life?
I made little changes that, kind of went with me as a my personality, I guess, and my need for structure and organization. I guess that's kind of like the just I don't know what you call it. That's just how I am. So
Mhm.
um what I did was, because I wanted to focus on the fact that I needed to eat first. So I kind of made a timer for myself to say that this time I'm going to eat. I made sure that I was preparing things that were better for me to eat, but also in that time I was doing timing it out so that I was, taking medication that I needed to take
Mhm.
and eating at the same time. So I would make sure that those 3 meals I would have, and then like two snacks, I would have those all prepared out. So that did work for me. And then portion control. I would only eat from one plate, and whatever I would that could fit on that plate is what I can eat. And it wasn't like a dinner plate. It was kind of like midway between a saucer and a plate, which helps me to really downsize my portions a lot. So to the fact now that, what I mean, I used to be able to eat like, hey, I can eat like 4 pieces of chicken. I can't do that no more. I could probably eat two because it could only fit on that plate, and I made sure that I ate what was ever on that plate. Um, and yeah, meal prep helps a lot. And what else changes did I make? Um, Cutting a lot of processed foods.
Mhm.
So I was a big sandwich eat person. I always wanted, but it always had the processed sandwich, deli meat and things like that. So I cut that because that sodium and things like that. Um, so I cut that back, and I implemented more vegetables into my diet. So I don't go a day without eating any a salad. I eat a salad every single day at the same time every day. So yeah. So Jolanda, what type of changes did you make to your diet?
Well, I made them. Initially, I was very hardcore with making sure I had my greens. I have a love-hate relationship with gluten. I love bread. You can feed me bread and butter and water, and I'm so happy. But bread does not like me. Um, so I had to totally cut that out. This is during the healing process because I also wanted to heal my body faster. So in the morning, the first thing I had would be ginger tea because that's good for inflammation. So I would have my hot ginger tea with honey and then, start my day. Wouldn't have any bread. It was a little easier because we were in COVID. So it's not like you had too many options. There was no, at least here in Georgia, fast food wasn't really open. It wasn't too many options to just drive through because the kids weren't even working too much. And you could only go to the grocery store during certain hours. So you only had what you had at home. So I would buy more fruits, more veg. Um, and I actually, during that time, ate a lot of protein because I was trying to heal. And I cut back on, like I said, the gluten and the what am I trying to say? What is rice? What is that called? What's that?
Starch.
Starch. Thank you. That's the word I couldn't remember. And the starch, because that just turns right to sugar. Again, something I love. And it worked very well. I was able to heal pretty good. I also went to physical therapy. So I healed up really good, got full use back. So since then, start bringing all the bad stuff kind of back in. However, I've noticed because I made a mental change and just decided what I wanted for myself. Certain things don't even taste good to me anymore. Like if I crave something, I'll eat it. I used to be addicted to steak, a bone in ribeye. I could eat a bone in ribeye and a baked potato every day. bread and butter, bone in ribeye, baked potato, and then rice. I was in love with all of that. I could eat it every single day. I don't have to have red meat so much anymore. So I don't crave. It's like if I think it's if my iron gets low, then I'll crave it and I'll eat a piece. But other than that, I don't really want it. Matter of fact, I don't necessarily have to have meat
That
unless I
part,
have a
don't
feeling
necessarily
for
have
it.
to have
So
it. Mhm.
I don't know if it's physiology has changed or just my mental has changed. Um, I still have potato issues. I will want a potato. But Olivia laughs at me because when I make a baked potato, it takes 2 hours. So for me, that makes me, it does. So I have to really say, I want this potato because it's going to take 2 hours to cook. So, if I don't have the patience to wait for it, then I don't need it and I'll just grab something else. Um, I
Two
will
hours,
be
girl. Who take 2 hours to make a mistake?
me. You put it, you scrub it,
In the world.
you season the outside and rub it down with olive oil, put a little salt on the outside, wrap it up in foil, put it on 350 for 2 hours. If you're making one or four or five, how many, it comes out perfect. 2 hours. So,
Believe.
anywho, it's a lesson in patience.
Okay.
So, oh, I lost my thought. What was I saying? Oh, I don't necessarily remember what I was saying, but this is what I'm going to say. I do need to do more with vegetables. Like, I'll eat them, but I think when I was so gung ho, I ate so many, it's just like, I don't want a vegetable. So that is an issue that I do have. And now I find myself at this point not forgetting to eat, but I'm just not hungry anymore. And I only eat when I'm hungry, which is a good and a bad thing because, I might only be hungry once a day. That's not good. So I'm still a work in progress. All that to say, I'm a work in progress, but I have changed where I don't eat all the junk. I don't crave fast food. I just sometimes it makes me sick. Like the smell of it sometimes makes me sick. But I will get my Harold's chicken when I come to Chicago. I'm not going to lie about
Absolutely.
that.
Gotta have 2 pieces of
Girl, most definitely.
chicken.
Most definitely. But I just don't crave those things anymore and I can do without it. And I've noticed since just doing that, um, eating what I desire for the day, I get that taste out of my mouth, I move on, and then we'll come back to the working out part, but in incorporating working out, I feel better. I don't feel that I'm missing anything, as well as taking supplements, adding back in what my
We'll
body
talk
does
about
not.
that too.
I'm sorry.
I said we'll definitely talk about
We'll
that
talk about
too.
that too. Okay, so we'll come
Mhm.
back to that. So I throw the ball over to you.
All right. So for me, I was a vegetarian. I started, my daughter's 21, so 20 years. I cut out meat. I ended up And the reason I cut out meat is because I had my gallbladder taken out, and my doctor for healing was like, no meat products, no nothing. He started me with just liquids coming back. Then from there, it was fruit and then vegetables, and then we slowly introduced meat. I realized that my body was getting sick because your gallbladder is supposed to process fats. That is what it's there for.
Mhm.
Um, and because I didn't have it, I was getting sick and just
Mm,
it's bad if I have meat. So I just became a vegetarian. Still ate cheese. That was my downfall. And then I would have my special dinner once a year where I could have seafood.
mm,
Um, Doing research and my seafood that I like were all bottom feeders. So I stopped doing that. Um, then fast forward, I did keto um, in like 2015. I started keto, but still no meat. And I know there was cheese and stuff, but I didn't do the cheese or any of that stuff. So I did keto without the cheese, without the dairy, all that stuff. It was great. But I felt like I wasn't, I was always eating. Like I had probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6 meals a day. It was a lot of food to eat because I had to eat more because I wasn't eating what keto is, which is basically meat and cheese and milk all day long, and no carbs. So I had to eat more. Then from there, um, I went back to fully vegetarian. Then last year, I went to get my certification in being a raw vegan chef and juicer, and that completely opened my eyes and changed my outlook on food. Where now I'm very cautious of what I see, what I do. I do have, like Jolanda said before, I do have those lapses where I'm like, I want a veggie burger from the store, so I'll get a veggie burger, or I'll get a veggie hot dog from my favorite place, IKEA, and I will have that. But doing the raw, I realized having the food in the raw state was the best for me. Not for everybody. As you can see, we're all three different people that take different ways to take care of our bodies. But for me, it was the best. I know I've noticed though when I get busy or I don't make time for myself because I we're going to talk about boundaries, but not setting boundaries, then I fall back into my old habits. So setting boundaries is very good for me so that I can eat well.
Mm, alrighty.
So Jolanda was about to start to talk about exercise. So we'll start with you, Jolanda, and we'll
Oh,
come
okay.
around.
So what do you
Uh,
want to know about
what are you,
exercise?
what are your, how do you incorporate exercise into your life?
Well, as you two know, and listeners will know if they actually follow us, uh, I'm a spiritual person. So when I exercise, it brings me joy, and I call it kind of one form of meditation. So that's how I incorporate it in. Um, the exercises that I have finally figured out work for the body I have now, which was a trial and error type thing, because you go to the gym and you see the people and you get the trainer and the trainer tells you to do this and you try and anywho, it's trial and error. So don't ever think, oh, I tried this and it doesn't work. I just don't know what to do. You have to keep trying. I'm kind of an unconventional exerciser, I would say. I only do light weights. I don't lift anything over 15 pounds. Can I? Yes. But what works for me is 15 pounds. So the things that work for me in this body that I have at this age are cardio, and my cardio of choice is Zumba because it's fun for me. And so what I've done is add ankle and arm weights so that while I'm getting the cardio, I'm also doing light weight training. I do floor Pilates once a week. I do reformer Pilates also once a week. Anyone who does Pilates know it. Those two different forms are very different in the way they affect the body, but mixing them up again has worked for me. Um, and then I forgot what it's called, cardio hit class. So it's a mix of cardio, weights, and just a lot of core training. And something that I've also found that works is a TRX class. I had never heard of it before, and I took one. I love it. It has straps, and like the straps are on the wall, and you're working with the straps and your own body weight. Love it. My whole body gets so sore. It is the best feeling. I want to cry, but it's a good hurt. So, TRX, Pilates, Zumba, and cardio hit work for me with lightweight training. Um, that's what I do as far as physical exercise.
So I'll go next and then we'll go to Carmen. So for me, my favorite exercise is gonna be kickboxing, period, hands down. Fighting against that bag and it is like a metaphor of, like Jolanda said about meditation, it is a meditation for me. One, because I can focus on whatever's like I'm dealing with, I can let go. It like into the atmosphere, it's gone. Things that I want to bring in, I'm gonna work, make it work. Um, Next thing I do group fitness, like Jolanda. My training coach used to be my kickboxing coach, and so now we have full body conditioning, full strength conditioning. We have different challenges and things like that. So I do that. I also do the treadmill or on the days that I don't go to class, or I do the thing that I hate the most, the one that goes like this, the elliptical. I hate that
Mm.
machine. Oh, the devil made that machine. Um, because I don't like doing this and my legs at the same time. No, I just want to move my legs. Um, for me though, I prefer to lift more heavy only because my body composition is different than everybody else. I prefer to lift heavy. Now, does it always um, work sometimes? No, sometimes I'm very sore. Um, I really work on form. I want to have functional fitness for myself. And for me, lifting heavy helps with my functional fitness, being able to lift bags, I work with children, so being able to lift things up, move things around. Um, I have a granddaughter, being able to lift her. I have to have that strength in my body. So, functional fitness is definitely very important to me. Carmen?
And here lies the difference. Carmen, who does
Oh,
nothing.
yes, you do. You do a lot. Don't. Mm-mm.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. What I mean is, dude, you guys, you know, actually have made the move to actually go out there. You go to classes. You take, you know, what I mean, you go to the gym. You do things. Yeah, I haven't. I'm not there yet. I
That's
want to
okay.
be there, but I'm just not there yet. But I do make a conscious effort to keep myself moving.
Mhm.
So during the day, if I feel like I'm being stagnant or anything like that, then I'll take my student outside. And I was like, because she likes to walk, I let me walk with her. So we'll walk around outside. Our school has like a little track out back through a nice little walking path. So I walk the walking path with her a couple of times. When I get home, my cardio is cleaning. The two of them know that I like to clean. I don't know, but I like to clean. So if I'm sweeping the floor or if I'm moving stuff back and forth, bending down, organizing cabinets and doing things. So that's to me is my form of exercise right now because I walk a lot and then I have stairs in my house. So yeah, we're up from
Mhm.
the basement to the second floor and back down and so, yeah, I want
Don't look down on what you do because that is a lot.
right. I don't, but I want to do like I am a former belly dancer, so I will and that was really something that I did a lot. I danced a lot and I still dance to this day because I do stop in the middle of things. Another thing I do with my sis with my student is that I'll stop and I was like, all right, we need a 30-minute dance break. We're gonna dance it out for 30, not 30 minutes, 30 seconds. We're gonna dance it out for 30 seconds. And yeah, so I'm always moving. Uh but as in like do I take any class? No, I'm not doing. But I want to get there. I do want to get there.
We're all a work in progress. We don't all
Right.
have to start. I mean, it took us all a while.
hmm
So we all have our own thing. My thing is don't want my mama's arms. And she keeps saying I got them. And that is like I keep telling her that's the biggest insult.
Okay.
I love my mama. My mother was a former dancer.
Okay.
She went to college on a dance scholarship. She was ballet, like modern dance. That was her thing. Her body was like this mm, until she had my sisters and really started stressing out at work. That's when her body changed. But like I see when I'm stressed and I start eating poorly what my body starts to look like. And I don't want that because I know how it irritates her with like finding jackets. She can't stand when the jackets are too tight on her arms. So like that frustrates her. Getting
Mhm.
dresses that are like sleeveless frustrates her. And every or when you take a picture, look at my arms and when I see that in my mother, I don't want that for myself. So that's another thing. So that's another reason why I hate push-ups, but I will do them. They're like the bane of my existence, but I'll do those so that I can shape my arms.
Well, that's
So
since you
that's why I always
opened the
tell Jolanda,
door
you have so shapely arms.
and you have shapely legs.
You do.
So,
See,
we have different things. But
we
since
do.
you opened the door, I will go on ahead and walk through it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, my mom was not, well, she was teeny. She was very teeny, but she did not get out of shape until after I was married, and I want to say after Morgan. So she was well over 50. But when I look at her now, I'm like, nope, that is not going to be my life. That's not my path. Um, yeah, like my mother is literally on a cane, but that is because of her being a nurse. So, it's other extenuating circumstances, and you walk for 12 hours a day. Stuff happens. So
Hmm.
I don't have that pressure, but I refuse to not have my full mobility as I move through this life.
Hmm.
I want to be in my right mind and I want full use of my body. Even
Yeah.
if that means slower, I'll
Hmm.
be slow, but I will be standing up straight. I will be walking up straight. I do not want to shuffle. I want to be able to take a regular, normal gait. If some danger comes, like I was not joking when I said I couldn't run for a year. I literally used to try to go outside and try to run because I'm like, how can you not run? What happens that you can't run? That really freaked me out. So I would like to always be able to care for myself, you know?
I think I'm the same
So,
way. I
mm,
mean, I can say that I was going down the path of my mother. My mother is deceased, but she neglected herself for the care of others.
mhm,
And by the time she realized that her life was in danger, it was too late. So my earlier m- medical issue, that was a wake up call for me that I'm on the same path as my mother. I'm neglecting myself, not thinking about what it is that I need and keeping myself going, filling my own cup
mhm,
and taking care of me, trying to take care of other people. So I realize now that even though that I'm a person who likes to care for people and want to help, I can't help you until I help myself.
mhm.
So I learned to put me first. And I learned that by setting boundaries, something that I could not, did not do, and didn't understand the ramifications of not doing so.
And so since you brought that up, how do you set boundaries?
The word no is a complete sentence and requires no other explanation on your part when you give it.
Now
I'm gonna
that's
talk
the end
my
of that statement. So Carmen has shut that one down. No.
no. I understand that. I mean, when I say, and it hurt to say it at first. It wasn't easy. Okay, it wasn't easy. Um, because I felt hurt for saying no, and I felt like I was hurting the other person for telling
Mhm,
them no, and that I was waiting for the explosion, but sometimes the explosion didn't happen. But if it did happen, I realized it didn't happen on me. That the pieces didn't rain down on me; it rained down on the other person because I had every right to say no, and I had to be all right with that. And it got easier and easier and easier to do.
I have a question with that because it's something that I'm going through now. I'm going to no, it directed toward both of you because Olivia had to go through it with caring for her grandmother, and now with, we're Olivia and I are to the point where I'm not trying to belittle our parents, but we're raising our parents, and it's just because they're of a certain age and they require a lot of attention. Um, and Carmen, you're kind of going through that as well, but not with a parent, but with older sibling, you
Mhm.
know. So how do you guys keep that boundary, as well as still be there to care for the person who needs you? How can you say, no, I can't do this, but I will do that? Do you understand the question I'm trying to
Yeah.
pose?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So I guess I'll start. For me, um, one good thing is my mom is pretty much, I mean, she's mobile, she's active, she does things. A lot of it though, I've been getting on her with, her health and making sure that she eats well, making sure that she exercises. She's broken her elbow, so like her mobility in her arm is not as good with going down, up and down because of the fact that she did break her elbow. Again, like I said, we have diabetes in our family, things like that. So bounding wise, there's a lot of times like Carmen says, I do say no. Like, no, I can't do it. I'm doing something else. I'm doing something for me, or I'm going to do something. But there are times when, like yesterday, she wasn't feeling good. Went over to her house, made sure, went and got her dinner. Um, and I ate dinner with her and I stayed and it was really good. But like having a parent that is, every time I think about it, like she's in her 70s. Um, it makes me want to say, okay, I need to make sure she functions correctly because so far in my family, everyone's made it to 95 plus in my family, female wise. So making sure that my mom gets that push, getting her to do things. But boundaries is definitely very important. Even like having to say no to my daughter or to my son about things is definitely a boundary where before I would like literally I would stop everything. You guys know this. I would stop everything no matter what I was doing for myself, and I would make sure my kids had whatever they needed to do. Um, but I learned that that was at a detriment. Just like yesterday, I there was an event that I needed to go to, but I was like, I'm not going to stop my normal self-care that I do on Saturday. I'm going to do everything that I'm going to do. I'm going to the gym, I'm going to the sauna, I'm going to get my shot um, of my vitamins, and then I'll go home, shower, and go to the event. Normally, I would have been like, oh, I got to cancel class because I have to be at this event. So back to so that was boundaries for me, but back to taking care of a parent or even older siblings, or for me, younger siblings. It's really trying to get to have them see what they want for themselves physically, um, to get them to where they need to be. Like my mom, like I said, her thing is her arms. So I try to get her to just do some arm curls, even without weights, just regular arm curls to practice circles, like different things, to keep herself healthy.
What about you, Elizabeth?
Um, so how I would how I do set boundaries now is that I take into consideration of the request. Um, if it's something that you truly need me to help you with, then I will. But if it's just something that I know that you can do on your own, then the answer is no. You'll get it done. If it's something that is that you just want me to be there, you're using me, I'm not gonna let you use me anymore. You have to, you're gonna have to stand up on your own. You'll be all right. I'll be all right because I have to take in consideration of me first. So do I feel like it? One, do I have the time? Will it put any pressure on me? And if the answer to those are yes, then the answer to you is no. And I'm not gonna be the tug of war between many people as I was. I'm being pulled this way, being pulled that way, being pulled this. I'm not gonna, I'm letting go of all the strings. Y'all win. I'm done. So with I had that with my sibling, I'm the youngest, but you would know that I was the youngest the way I took care of the other one. So I had to really, that was the hardest boundary to set, because a guilt trip was put on me years ago when our mother passed away to take care of that sibling, even though I'm the youngest. So that guilt trip was put on me on my mother's deathbed. I had to realize that that wasn't fair. And I don't have to honor that because I did, but I'm done. So once I did that, I let it all go and set up. No, there's no more. No, no. You don't need to lean on me like that. You don't need to pull me like that. I don't need to do all these things for you. I don't need to make sure that you're okay and you're older than me. You should be making sure I'm okay. So once I set that boundary of you got to do it yourself, man. And that's something that's real. That particular thing is really new in the last 3-4 months. And my sister is great. She's fine. She figured it out on her own. It makes me feel good, and I know that if she said it makes her feel good that she did it. She realized nobody coming, nobody's going to rescue you, so you have to do it on your own. So she's better for it. And I think dropping that codependency that we have with some of these people has really just made my life easier, and realize people you don't need someone else would give you that realization in their lives that you don't need anybody to do. You're strong, you're independent, you're smart, you can get it done. You don't need me.
What
I
about
hope.
you, Jay?
Well, I moved to another state. Haha. But no. So with what did you say, Carmen?
No, I just laughed.
It helped. But with my mother and I, it was just the two of us since I was six. My parents got divorced when I was six. And my mom did a lot for me. She sacrificed a lot. She worked her butt off so that I could have whatever I desired. I always say I'm not rotten, but I am spoiled. I do appreciate things and I did have to work for things. So I always felt that it was my duty to make her happy. I lived my life to make my mother happy. I was an overly obedient child because I did not want to cause her any pain or drama. That's great for her. That's not so great for me. Um, so at age 37, I had a mental breakdown. I'm going to tear up, try to keep it back. But I had a mental breakdown and I realized that it was either make other people happy and die or make myself happy and live. So since then, I've been making myself happy. And the people who actually love me are still here. The ones who only wanted to take from me are gone. So I found out who's actually in my corner. It's difficult because my mother only knew me one way. She knew if she called me and asked me to do something, I did it, whether I wanted to or not. Whether I was busy or not, whether I was building my own business or not, it didn't matter because she wanted something and I dropped everything for her. So we had to re, um, what is the word?
Redefine.
Redefine. Thank you. We had to redefine our relationship, and we redefine our relationship daily. It's taken her a while. It's taken a while. She's very stubborn, and she's also spoiled. She's very spoiled. My mother is extremely spoiled because I spoiled her, just as she spoiled me, you know. So we redefine daily, and we work on it daily, and she kind of gets it, but she still pushes. Like today, she called me. I didn't answer the phone because I was doing something. I got a text immediately after, "Why didn't you answer the phone?" I did not respond because I know that you're okay. Backstory to today, I had already texted her and reached out earlier, and she chose not to respond to me. I don't get upset. I'm happy she's doing something. She just still feels I should be at her beck and call. That's not happening. So we're working on it. Yeah, and as Olivia is saying, my mother is 80 this year. The reality that that woman is 80 years old is like, oh,
Wow.
wow, you're 80. So I go to Chicago. My goal is every month. I don't need to go every month yet, so I'm there about every 2 months, or she comes this way. So we see each other. We talk often. I have a great support system. Olivia's literally down the street from my mom. She checks on her. If it's an emergency, I know I can call Carmen. She checks on her. My god sister is there. She checks on her. Like I have a great support system, so she's cool. I'm okay with that. But the boundaries with her, it's challenging, but we're working on it. I say no a lot. And like she'll say, "Well, I want you to go do this." And I said, "I don't want to." "Well, it would really make me happy if you, because that's what used to work." And I say, "I understand it would make you happy, but the answer is no."
Hmm.
"Well, I don't understand why you won't do what I want you to do because I'm an adult and I don't want to." "Well, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm just going to get off the phone." "That's fair. I'll talk to you tomorrow." So when she realized that that didn't work,
Hmm.
she stopped doing that. So see, we're redefining it.
Hmm.
Um, or calling me. Well, my children. I have two girls. You saw one. That's my oldest. That was Tyler, and my youngest. Her name is Morgan. They're literally grown women. Tyler is 26 years old. Morgan is 23. So they talk to their grandmother. They have their own relationship with her, but she will literally call me. "Well, what is Morgan doing? What is Tyler doing?" "I don't know." "Well, how don't you know?" "Because they're grown." "Well, you should know what they're." "Mommy, when I was 23 years old, I was a married woman and lived in another state. So, but, what am I supposed to do? So that's our new boundary that we're working on. Letting my children be grown women and have their own lives because my mother had a hand in everything in my life.
Everything. I'm sorry. I had to preach on that.
Oh, because we
I
all
say our
had
mothers,
that.
our mothers. We have that mother. That we had those mothers that had their hand in every aspect of our
Yeah,
lives. Every.
everything. I went to school where I went. It was allowed barely. Um, but I had to go where she wanted me to go. I had to join activities she wanted me to join. I had to dress how she wanted me to dress. And I am going to speak for Carmen and Olivia and say we had to go where they wanted us to go, mommy and daddy. We were allowed to be friends because our parents liked each other because our parents were the same helicopter parents.
Mhm.
So, whole different
Facts.
story.
Facts.
We'll
Facts.
talk
But
about that next episode.
yeah, we'll talk about that on breaking generational curses. Olivia and I already talked about it once, but we need to do it with Carmen. So I will take the bullets for my children because I want them to have their own lives and to make their own mistakes and come into their own glory in their own time.
Hmm.
I know I kind of got off on a tangent, but that's the boundary that I'm working on right now, you know.
Hmm.
As far as my mom being healthy, yeah, she walks on the cane, but the little woman, oh, she is so hard-headed, but she eats healthily. Go ahead.
I was on one of the canes.
Huh?
She only takes one of those canes around. I watch.
No, she's doing the
She doing both of them now. Okay, good.
she doing the ski pose because she says she can move faster. So she eats right. She takes her little medicines. And by the by, my mom is such a trickster. I get notifications when she leaves her house. That woman stay in
Me
the
too.
street. She stays in the street. But as
Me
soon
too.
as I get to Illinois, oh, oh, I just can't do this. Oh, I can't do that. I will come home and this 80-year-old woman has moved the furniture around in the living room. But as soon as I show up, she can't lift a chair. I mean, excuse me, a chair. I'm in a cup. She can't lift a cup. I got to move the cup to the dishwasher because it's just too much. So, ooh, let me not get on Edna. So yeah, so we're gonna move on to the next thing. Move on. Moving on.
So, so we talked about physical health.
Mm.
We talked about our routine, dietary wise. What do we do for mental health? What do you do for mental health? I'll start since I brought it up. For mental health, one thing is I actually do talk to someone biweekly now. Um, I used to go every week to a counselor in Chicago. Now, of course, everything's digital, so you can go Zoom, you can go text message call. So I have they call the ZocDoc, where you can just go and get you a mental health doctor. And I talk to them once every other week. And the reason being is because um, I noticed that certain things that trigger, when they trigger things in my body, pain wise. I know when I get upset, my left knee, my right knee hurts. I gotta remember what leg I'm talking about. My right knee hurts. Gives me a lot of pain. I've been working on it, like I was taking shots and all this other stuff. It it's trauma stored in your body because your body stores trauma and things that happen to you. The only way they can come out of your body is if you work on the trauma. So for me, mental health is very important. Another thing is that um, I do meditations. Meditations really help me with my mental health. Again, we talked about boundaries also too. But I've noticed um, since I've been doing more community uh, with us together. We were doing more of this and then having another sisterhood community and being able to talk and have a safe place to talk. I've noticed that I haven't had as much need to talk to um, my doctor because of the fact that I can be honest about the way I feel. And I think that was one of the main things that was hurting my mental is not being honest because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. I'm a Pisces. Pisces, they always talk about we're wishy-washy, we're so squeezy, we're so cushy, lovey. Yeah, that's the one fish. The other fish is a shark. And that's the one that is going for the kill. And like I said before on the last podcast, that I would jump into the water and not know it was cyanide and swim through it. That person there, she needed love. She needed to be heard. She needed to speak. When they talk about healing the inner child in you, um, Like for me, it's not really the inner child, it's more of my inner teenager that needs to heal. Um, so with doing that work, it's helped. I definitely journal too. So speaking with my doctor, having community, um, having meditation and journaling have been the best thing. And I feel like I have had more clarity. I even feel like I look different now because of the fact that I'm speaking my truth. Before, people will say, "Oh, you look the same," but like I can tell in my eyes now that I look different because I'm seeing people clearly. And with the clarity of seeing people clearly and knowing where they stand in my life and where I stand in their life, it is so much better. So I'm done. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Okay.
Um, what I do is I like quiet. So I will have my quiet time where there's no one in the house, nothing around. Even if I go in my room and just everybody else is doing something else, just as long as I'm quiet, no TV, no nothing. And I do like to meditate, and prayer is a big thing for me. Then I'll just go into prayer and I'll feel much better afterwards because I let a lot of things go. But I do have a good support system when I really do need to vent, scream, yell, and be ridiculous. That I know that I can pick up the phone and hit one button, and two people will pop up, and I can say all the crazy shit that I need to say, and it'll be okay. So yeah, those are the things I do. I do crave my quiet and just letting things go, and that's a big thing for me because I would hold on to so much, and now I don't. I don't know if it sounds crass to say I don't care, but I don't know any other words to say than now that I really don't care. I don't care, and that feels wonderful to me. I don't. I mean,
Okay. Well, Carmen, you crave quiet. I have a lot of quiet. I am in the house or with myself a lot. So I crave community. So finding people that I can share with, that brings me joy and that clears my mental. That's why I said working out is a meditation for me because I go um, and when we're in class, we talk and we laugh while we're struggling to do things. But we talk and we laugh, and it brings me joy. I love that. Also, um, I do a lot of journaling. Actually, I'm be honest, I just finally realized who I am. So I used to always hide the true me because I wanted other people to be happy. So if I'm riding in the car with you, you never heard my real music that I like because I was like, I don't wanna, I don't know if you like that. I don't know if you like that. Now I don't care. I'm just me. That has helped my mental so much. You either like me or you don't, and I'm okay with that because I'm me. Um, Also, I like to go get a massage. I give them a massage. I found a great massage therapist, and everything gets worked out of my body. I love that. Um, Olivia was saying about the community. I actually joined a community that Olivia recommended. It's a group of women, and we meet every Sunday morning. It's a way to refill. We talk about things, and it's kind of a spiritual community, but we all come from different backgrounds, different philosophies, and we see things differently. So it's very open, and I love that. I feel very safe there. So as I do recall, I spoke about that on our last podcast or whatever this is called. Safety is important for me. So I found a safe place, and I love that. Um, And to be honest with you, since I have just started being myself, things are coming to me that bring me joy, and the joy is bringing me mental clarity. I don't know if that makes sense,
Mhm.
but I have such mental clarity. Um, and I'm happy, and I wake up. Remember when Jill Scott said that, and why did I get married? I wake up with such joy. I literally wake up with joy. I've never awakened with joy ever in my life that was just me centric. And I finally made it there. So that's helping my mental. And this, talking to you guys, helps. So, all right. I think we covered all the topics. Am I right or wrong?
I think you're
So
right.
yeah, we talked about
Okay.
physical, we talked about uh we didn't talk about spiritual.
Well, I think that's going to be
Okay,
another
we'll talk
hour or
about that.
so. So we
Okay.
will put that separate. That's because we are doing spirituality from three different lanes. So that's a whole separate topic within itself. So that we don't make this episode so long that we lose your attention and your interest, we will call it a day, a evening, an afternoon, whenever you're watching this, and say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being part of our circle. We call ourselves the Power of Three. So thank you for coming into our circle and allowing us to share parts of ourselves with you. And I really, truly hope that we have brought up some talking points or some thinking points for everyone watching, and that you can share those things with your circle of influence, your friends, your family. And yeah, so until next time, see you soon.
Bye.